Granolah is stronger than we thought, or at least stronger than I thought. We knew when Granolah made this wish to become the strongest in the universe outside of the gods, we knew that he was going to get a huge power up at the cost of, him dying in 3 years. But I don't think we had any idea. I don't think our booties were ready for what he did to Goku in the last 2 Dragon Ball Super manga chapters. This dude is an animal. So I want to discuss how just now, and keep in mind, we have still yet to see Granolah at true full power. But even up until right now, this dude has some of the scariest beats in Dragon Ball Super the manga, and I personally could not believe how strong he actually was, and not just how strong, how smart he actually was in the fight with Goku, and probably will be in the fight with Vegeta in the next chapter. So, joining me for this video, a guy who once made a wish to the Cerulean Dragon to have sex 15 times a day, and he got his wish granted, let me tell you, at the cost of him going to the hospital. MJ. That's a true story, by the way.
What's going on, man? Thank you for having me back on the channel.
That is a true story, though, right? Can you confirm that?
Anyways, so Granolah, dog, I was not expecting him to be as strong as he is. I kind of thought at one point that Blue Goku was going to be a match for him. I ended up being wrong, and I think a lot of people thought that too. We didn't think Goku was going to whip out the silver hair form in this fight, And
it's also Blue Goku with UI inside of it. So, and he's still, no, I agree with you. I did not expect the silver haired UI. And then Granolah, bro, this is wild. So Granolah it wasn't even really Granolah. It was a clone that he created using a version of the multiform technique, because one thing we should talk about is the fact that this dude not only is strong, but he has knowledge of moves that he didn't even know before. He knows how to fly. He knows how to use a version of instantaneous movement. And he also can do a version of the multiform technique. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's the same technique, but there's similar properties to it. And of course, we have the whole, shout outs to Pride, the whole Hakai entropy possibilities there. We haven't got confirmation of that yet. I think we will next chapter.
Also, don't forget when Granolah uses the earth to shoot up Goku, I'm guessing it's lava or whatever, a big explosion happens. Vegeta goes, "You okay?" And then Goku goes, "That move looked a lot like Moro's." So even he has moves from villains too. So or moves that resemble them, So what else does he have, bro?
That's what I'm saying. And a lot of people in the fandom have said that they think he has UI. And we haven't seen that yet. But I doubt it, only because it's the God technique. And he's not supposed to be as strong as the gods. But who knows? Maybe he does. Maybe he has his own version of UI. Who knows? We're probably going to find out soon. But this dude, and I know people in the fandom are saying, how is Frieza gonna get strong enough to go against him? No. If this guy confronts Frieza, he will one-shot Frieza and take him out. I can't even debate
unless
that,
we get Platinum Frieza. Shout out to Xenoverse for that.
The Xenoverse modders, bro. They always think up this stuff first. It used to be Muga back in the day. But, I mean, dude, even the clone of Granolah was matching Goku. Goku was beating him with the silver-haired UI for a while with that speed.
Right.
And then, all of a sudden, the real Granolah shows up and it's curtains for Goku. Now, he did catch him off guard. But you're not supposed to get caught off guard with Ultra Instinct. You're not supposed to. But he did. So do you think that Granolah is genuinely faster than Ultra Instinct? Or do you think that in that moment, Goku was he had his guard down again, talking to Granolah, not knowing what was going on, and that's what happened? I mean, I don't know, man. I always thought that when you're in UI, you can't really get caught off guard.
Yeah, that's a big talking point in the fandom. I do believe that a peak UI Goku going UI right off the bat, 100%, is still probably faster than Granolah because of that one statement at the end of the chapter. Granolah says, and I quote, "Which worked for me since your accuracy drops over time in that silver-haired form. I knew I could find an opening eventually." So that means at the beginning against silver-haired Goku, he couldn't find an opening. So it did have to happen over time. But here's a question, though. Did Goku's power drop that much between the time he activated UI versus Granolah catching that vital point? That just seems ludicrous to me. You know what I mean? That he could grow that much weaker in that short amount of time.
What I found weird is that maybe it's because of perspective, but it felt like the UI Goku versus Moro fight was longer than this fight. Here, it maybe it's because of perspective again, but
Yeah.
here you would think if Goku's power was dropping off, like in the Moro fight, I'm sorry, like in this fight, in the Moro fight would have dropped off faster. So what I wonder is, and this could be something they reveal later, did Granolah already attack Goku's pressure points during the fight? It just didn't affect him that much, or was it because
Oh.
UI? Right, and maybe he was slowly losing his power, or maybe it was because of Goku with UI, draining because he used it in the God and Blue forms. I mean, there's a lot of unanswered questions here, but we're talking about more so about Granolah. So,
Right. It could also be like a very subtle way to weaken him, kind of like the whole Moro was draining them the entire time without them knowing it. Maybe like Granolah, when he was hitting each vital point, he was cutting off this sounds very weird, but like maybe like the key network, the way ki flows through his body. So just because Goku
right,
thought he was
the
fighting at full
connection.
strength, maybe he wasn't. That could be like a
Yeah,
thing too. So
that could be that would be a great idea actually. If they did that, I would really appreciate them doing that. I actually want to do a video with you, and I'm going to say it right here on this video. I want to record this with you at some point soon, maybe after the next chapter, even before it. I want to discuss with you Granolah versus Beerus. That's going to be a controversial one. I don't want to get into it yet. I want to see what he does against Vegeta first. I think we'll probably do it after that chapter because I want to see if he does know entropy. Then we got a real situation with Beerus. So obviously people are going to lean towards Beerus, but if Granolah does something wacky in the next chapter, bro, it might be worth discussing. But in the
right.
meantime, as far as mortals go, I mean, this guy trumps over Moro easily. He trumps over. We're gonna do videos probably on the Broly and Jiren comparisons, but he definitely trumps over like any of the Z villains. I mean, without question. But what do you think was the most impressive thing we've seen out of this guy so far?
I mean, there's a lot, bro. He did a version of a Hakai. He, was faster than instantaneous movement using a clone that's only half of his power. Like, there's a lot that this dude was able to do in just a short amount of time, So,
He knocked out Goku. Didn't he technically knock out Goku 3 times?
yeah, especially in this chapter, Goku's in his blue form, firing off that Kamehameha point blank range, and he tags him at the vital point right in his neck, knocked him out. Remember, Goku gets back up in base. He's out of the blue form. He gets back up in base moments later, and he's like, "You got me again." So, I also want to bring up something interesting about a video that's out on your channel right now. You discussed the fact that this is the most dangerous and the strongest form of UI that we've ever seen because of that Mira statement. Mira says back in the Moral arc, at your current level, if you acquire and perfect UI, no threat can be of danger to you. Like, no one can fuck with you. And then you have Goku bringing out full power UI here. At least in his own words, he says, I haven't used UI in full power yet. He's bringing it out to combat this guy. That should tell you how much of a monster this dude is, So
Yeah, and I'm wondering if maybe Goku will learn something about UI that we don't know yet, and then if they have their rematch, Goku might be able to beat him if he's able to balance out the UI somehow. But I don't know. I
right.
just feel, I mean, because he was doing really well against him, but like we talked about the clone Granolah, so does that mean that if full power Granolah fought Goku, that those same UI speed moves are going to work on him? I don't know, man. Like I was not expecting Granolah to be this strong. I thought that it would be more even. I really
Right.
did. And here's the question. When he made the wish, I had made videos about this. We talked about this a lot. That he made the wish to be the strongest at that time. Now we have a time skip, so it gave Goku and Vegeta a chance to surpass him. But clearly, they didn't. At least it seems like they didn't, right? So
Yeah.
does that mean that that Granolah was always this strong and we never knew, or does that mean that the wish is so powerful that it elevates your strength based on the rest of the universe? Could it be a thing where the stronger Goku gets, no matter what, Granolah will beat him because of that wish? I think that's a little too much, but it's possible. I mean, could that wish really be that strong?
Well, okay, so I'm actually happy you brought the wish up. So I think people have this weird misconception of what that wish is. Granolah wished to be the greatest warrior in the universe. And
Right.
obviously, you don't need to look this up to understand what a warrior means. A warrior is an experienced entity. They are, they have experience and knowledge in some field. So Granolah wishing to be the greatest warrior in the universe, that isn't just power, homie. There's a reason why he has techniques that people like Ten Shinhan and Goku martial arts masters have, and he has them. It's not just power. He gained the experience and he gained the ability to be the best in the universe, as one of the promotional
We
guys
didn't know
stated.
that. We didn't know that until now.
We didn't know that
now.
until
We
now.
really know that.
Now we
Yeah.
know. Now we know it's not just power that he has. This dude is the greatest warrior in the universe. Like the Wish said, he's got the knowledge. He's a strategist. He knows all your vital points. The dude's bringing out techniques that we haven't seen like in years. Techniques that only like true honed martial artists know. So it's like he's the real deal, bro. So
I mean, at this point, bro, a lot of people are saying, and I've seen this in the fandom, that, and I saw it in a stream I did recently, that the only chance of them beating this guy, if this fight were to continue, is busting out Gogeta. Because at this point, if you have Gogeta, who has now this new Gogeta, this is not Gogeta from DBS Broly, it would be Gogeta post DBS Broly, with the knowledge of Ultra Instinct, how to tap into it at will, and with Force Spirit Vision. I've made a video about this before.
yeah.
Gogeta now is literally unbeatable. So I feel like with those two techniques, bro, nobody.
And remember, it doesn't even have to
Nobody.
be the silver hair form. Just regular Gogeta Blue with the UI technique and then Force Spirit Vision. Like he's gonna be an animal, bro.
Bro, and I'm saying even with the silver haired form, like I'm not saying it could be Whis, but I do think Gogeta, UI Gogeta with Force Spirit Vision could be Beerus. I do believe that. I think that's way too much
Right.
power. People are saying that. I don't know if we're gonna see that, but the point is of this video is I don't think anybody was expecting Granolah to be this strong, and I don't think we've ever seen Goku actually get knocked out of UI with a blow. Like we've seen him lose UI, but we haven't seen him get knocked out of it. And that to me, that's the most impressive thing Granola's done. Obviously it was a pressure point, and without the little eye gimmick, he might not be able to have pulled that off. But so what do you think? Do you think that if the fight had continued and Granolah did use his full power, what do you think would have happened then? Without the pressure point knowledge, in your opinion?
Oh, without pressure point knowledge?
Without the pressure point knowledge. That's the question right there. Because Goku might have edged it out if he didn't have the pressure point knowledge.
Yeah,
Maybe.
that's tough to say, but yeah, I think Goku probably would have edged it out, because there is an interesting statement that Goku has where he's like, "You're also way stronger than I thought. I'm curious how you got this far." And he's saying it like very calmly. It's very different compared to how he was talking to Moro, so it's very interesting that he's not saying like, "Oh, you're the strongest person I've ever fought," or "Oh, you're like the strongest person in history," the way he talked to Moro and Jiren. So I'm not trying to say Granola's weaker than them. I'm just saying that I think Goku maybe still thought he could still box with them. And if that's the case, if he fought a Granolah who didn't have the whole vital point advantage, he probably could have edged it out. Because that's what's really keeping him up here, is that the whole vital point thing, being able to knock Goku out of his forms over and over again. So,
Right. Yeah, no, he's an animal. Anyways, that's going to do it for the video. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. Talk to you soon.